Hello everyone, Matthew here with freeprescriptionlenses.com, and do I have a treat for you today. Ever since this frame has come out, and of course this is the RayBan original Wayfarer 2140 QM, which means it is the leather edition. This is color 1152 in the 50i size, which is the black leather. Of course it comes with the icons in leather, your little booklet explaining everything, the colors that it comes in. But the embossed RayBan case, unlike any other case out there, and of course the RayBan cleaning cloth and the soft fur on the inside. But this is what everyone wants to see. This is the original Wayfarer in the black leather. Now this comes in a dark brown leather, a light brown leather, a green, and a blue. And pretty soon you're going to be seeing me wear the blue leather with my prescription lenses in it. But for today, ever since this frame has come out, I've had requests for transition lenses, non-prescription transition gray lenses to be cut for this frame, because everybody wants to wear this with clear lenses. It only comes with sunglasses, and currently I'm the only person who's going to give you free clear lenses. But if you want the transition lenses, there's only a small $50 upgrade for that. So I'm going to take this frame. I've already carefully, using heat, taken out the heavy glass lenses that come in there, and I'm going to cut lightweight, unbreakable, bulletproof lenses to go in there. But I'm going to take this frame and I'm going to put it into the tracing element of my edger and hit start. Everyone wants to know how the computer knows what shape lens to cut. This is why. This little stylus pops up, goes around and is tracing the shape of the right lens before moving over and tracing the shape of the left. Here at freeprescriptionlenses.com, where everyone loves a bargain and no one is disappointed with quality. You buy a genuine, authentic RayBan frame and you will receive free, clear, single vision prescription or non-prescription fashion lenses. My receipt has my federal ID tax number, so if you have vision insurance or unused flex dollars, you will be reimbursed from your purchase. Even if you want non-prescription lenses, you can still get reimbursement from your insurance or flex dollars, because this is a high quality prescription grade frame. So I've traced the shape of the lens. That's just magnified, that green shape. If I hold this up there, you will see that is going to be the shape of the lens that I cut. Now I'm just going to put the frame right back down in there. I'm going to take the lenses. These are the Aspheric Airwear, which is the Essilor's brand. The name they call the polycarbonate is Airwear. These are the Transition 7. Everyone remember them Roman numerals. 511 is 7. GY stands for gray. So I'm going to take them out of the original packet, and the lenses come with a little cellophane on the front surface of the lens to protect them so they don't rub together during shipping or while they're on a shelf. So I'm going to take that off and I'm going to put it onto the platform to block. I'm going to get the second lens ready. And of course, you're going to get all the manufacturer's original packaging to know that you are getting Essilor brand Transition 7 gray lenses. Of course, these come Transitions brown, and you can now get them in the Transitions green, which they're copying the RayBan G15. So if you want the classic RayBan green lens to go into your frame, I can do that in a Transitions green. Now this is a block. Of course, if you've seen my other videos, you know I like to call these Jenny from the block. I need to attach this to your lens while it is cutting. This is what's going to hold it in place, essentially in the lathe. So I need a double-sided adhesive sticker. And when you know it, 3M makes one of those. So I'm going to pull the paper away to show you the black side, which is the sticky side. Of course, there's a little silver button on the back. That's a magnet. That's what's going to hold it in place. So I'm going to get those lined up. And I'm going to get your lens aligned just right. You can see the circle. Just going to make sure it's going to cut out. I hit that button, it comes down and places the block onto your right lens. Let's do the same thing now for your left lens. Place it on the platform, pull the paper away to make this side sticky, line up the magnet on the back in this arm. Of course, I've got my little stylus, let's use that. Hit the button, arm comes down and places the block onto the left lens. Of course, this could be the right or the left since these are non-prescription, but I'm going to go ahead and continue with what I was doing. Now, this is the edger. This costs $40,000. It weighs 200 pounds. I recommend everyone go out and buy one, put it on your kitchen counter, and you can cut lenses at home. You won't need me anymore because I'll show you how to use the equipment. But the actual cutting wheel, where's my stylus? The actual cutting wheel is over here on the far right. It's going to act like a heavy grit sandpaper to grind away your lens material. This wheel in the center with that little channel, the valley that I'm putting the stylus in, that's what's going to put the bevel onto the lens so it stays inside the bevel of the frame. So let's go ahead and I'm going to take the lens and put it into the chuck, or as I like to call it, the Charles, because I don't know the machine well enough to call it chuck. But I'm going to pull up the shape onto the computer, and I know from experience, especially in the leather, when they wrap this frame in leather, it makes the bevel, it just changes the bevel. So I'm going to take about 1/4 of a millimeter off, and I may have to do more, but the golden rule, you can always cut more off, you can never add it back on. So I'm going to start with about 1/4 of a millimeter, although I think I hit it, yeah, let's start with 0.25, which is 1/4 of a millimeter. I do not want to polish the edge. I do not want to put a bevel on the front surface, and I'm going to put a very light bevel on the back surface. And of course the PC stands for polycarb, and I'm going to hit start. First thing that happens is the door closes, that clamp shuts, and then the lens is going to be traced by 2 white styluses. They're just going to make sure this lens is large enough to fit into the frame, and as it traces the shape it's going around. It does it twice to measure the thickness of the lens at every point, to know exactly precisely where to place the bevel so the lens will fit best inside the frame. Of course, these are non-prescription, so they're pretty thin, but if you did have a prescription, it would place it so it'll fit best. Now in just a moment you will see the lens drop down onto the cutting wheel. Now if you notice, there is water running in the background. Polycarbonate cuts dry where plastic and high index lenses cut wet. I'm sorry, yeah, that's true, that is correct. So again, these are polycarbonate lenses. Polycarb is 40% thinner and lighter than regular plastic. They are virtually unbreakable. This lens is bulletproof up to 22 caliber and has both UVA and UVB protection built into it. We know what the sun's harmful ultraviolet rays can do to your skin, where your eyes are 8 times more sensitive than your skin. So you have permanent sunscreen for your eyes. Now water kicks in for the last 20 seconds just to wash away any optical debris, optical sawdust if you will. If you notice, that lever has just moved out, and there's a little wheel on there which looks like something you would find inside a Dremel tool, and that's what's putting the safety bevel onto the back surface of the lens so it's nice and smooth. Now I can cut any lens. I offer this frame with just clear lenses. I offer it with any color tinted lenses. I offer it with any color polarized lens. I offer it also with polarized and mirror coated, just tinted and mirror coated. But again, it comes in 3 different colors of transitions: transitions gray, transitions brown, and the new brand new transitions green. So I'm going to take, I just want to remove any optical debris on the outside of the lens. I'm going to see if it fits into the frame just yet. I tuck it in at the outside corner. I lightly press down. It does not snap in, so I want to take a little bit more off. Just like I mentioned before, you can always cut more off. You can never add it back on. So let's go ahead and hit retouch. And again, it's just going to drop down onto the bevel wheel, and it's going to take, did I hit it? Okay. And it's going to take a little bit more off. For all of my American friends who have no idea what 2/10 of a millimeter is, well, a millimeter is the distance between my thumbnails. I'm going to take 2/10 of that, 1/5 of a millimeter off, going around the circumference of the lens until it fits into the frame perfectly. I do not want to force it in there because it would cause the frame to stretch or roll. And since I'm a perfectionist and I cut every pair of lenses before they're shipped worldwide, and of course free shipping anywhere in the United States, I do have to charge for overseas shipping. But because I ship every pair of lenses, I am a perfectionist, and my OCD is going to make sure that every lens is cut perfectly. Trust me, you want someone on your team who's cutting your lenses. So in just a moment it'll come out, and I'll test to make sure that it fits in there perfectly. Let's go ahead and take the lens out of the chuck, dry everything And I'm going to start by tucking it in at this outside corner, using my thumbs, press down at the nose, and it snaps in perfectly. I'm going to go ahead and remove this block that is no longer needed. That sticker, I want to go ahead and pat dry the rest of the lens. And let's go ahead and start cutting the left lens. I'm going to place that into the chuck, flip that over to L, which stands for not right, and hit start. Just like me, it's not right. Just like before, that clamp's going to shut, and then the calipers are going to come and it's going to trace the shape of the left side of the frame, making sure this lens is large enough, going all the way around, measuring the thickness at every point on the lens, and again, to precisely know exactly where to place the bevel so it will fit best inside the frame and you have no edge thickness. Now again, with these lenses, I mentioned that they were polycarbonate, but they're also, that AS stands for aspheric, which simply means not spherical. A spherical lens is completely round, gives you, you've seen people's glasses that have that ugly cosmetic fishbowl appearance. Not only are your lenses thinner and lighter weight, but this front curvature is much flatter. That's what an aspheric lens is. It is a much flatter lens, so it fits with the curvature of the frame. Now, when you buy lenses from people online, they charge you for plastic lenses. If you want to upgrade to the unbreakable, the thinner, lightweight unbreakable lenses with both UVA and UVB protection, they charge you an upgrade fee for that. When you want to upgrade to the flatter curvature lens, so you don't have that fishbowl appearance, you have to pay a third fee for that. So this is someone else's top tier premium lens, and you're always going to get this for free from me when you purchase the frame. So the lens is getting the safety bevel with water spraying on it now, so we know it's in the last stages of the cutting cycle. So again, I offer this lens clear, offer it clear with anti-glare, offer it with transitions with anti-glare, offer it with tinted lenses in many colors. I offer it with tinted and mirror coating such as blue or silver. There's even red, green, and blue. Did I mention that one before? Forgive me for repeating myself. I offer them polarized with mirror coatings in the silver and blue, as well as red, yellow, orange, green, I think are also options. And of course the three colors of transitions gray, brown, and green. So that lens is popped in there perfectly. I'm going to take this block off, pull the rubber sticker off, that's no longer needed. I'm going to dry the lens off. And one thing I also like to do, and of course not only are you going to get the RayBan cleaning cloth, I'm going to include one of my own premium microfiber cleaning cloths. The ladies get the pink, the men get either blue or orange. And I also like to point out, this is the time that I mentioned to everyone that when you get these in the mail, and there's a very small chance these could be too loose or too tight. However, there's an 80% chance that one side is going to sit higher than the other. That is because 80% of people have one ear that is higher than the other. And because of that statistic, that's why 99% of all optical shops will do free adjustments if you ask them. But for now, I'm going to get them in standard alignment, also known as a 3-point stance. The 3 points are 1, 2, and the bottom of the frame being 3. I inspect every frame before it's shipped. I place them on the counter and there is no wobble. When I say wobble, I'm part of that 80%. I have one ear that's higher than the other. So mine are adjusted where they do not sit level on the table, but they sit level on me. Now, since I have mine off, here's a good example. This in my left hand is the original Wayfarer, just happens to be in leather. Made in 1952 and just brought out this year in the leather, and it's current. This is the new Wayfarer, made in 1992, and of course it's a current model as well. This one, the original, is a little more square. The new Wayfarer is a little more rounded. The original has a little bit more tilt where it comes in closer to the cheek and away from the brow line. The new Wayfarer is a little bit more vertical all the way around. Each one has the same shaped temple, but when you set them on the counter, you can see the tilt. This one's more vertical. This one has more of what's known as panoscopic tilt. But let me put mine back on so I can see what I'm doing, yo. And so this is what your lenses look like clear. I'm going to go ahead and activate them so you see what the transitions look like. Oh, the other thing I do is I make sure that each temple overlaps perfectly, and they do, and they're not askew in any way, and there's the same amount of tension on each hinge before I ship anywhere in the United States for free. So let me go ahead and activate them. I'm going to put them in my little transitions box back here, which simply just has a strong UV lamp in there. I'm going to turn it on, and as you will see, it takes about 30 to 45 seconds for all transition lenses to darken. It takes a little bit longer when you come back inside, 45 seconds to a minute 15. Now this is important, everyone pay attention. All transition lenses will get dark on day one. They're going to continue to darken every day for the first 2 weeks that they're exposed to the sun until they reach their final darkness. After that, they will work for years with maximum performance. The only time they will not work is if you're behind the windshield in a traditional car. Your windshield absorbs all the sun's harmful ultraviolet rays so your upholstery doesn't rot, or more importantly, your dashboard doesn't crack from sitting in the sun. That's why transition lenses don't turn dark in a car. Now, if you have a convertible or a motorcycle, they will darken. They're also temperature sensitive, meaning they'll get different shades, different degrees of darkness depending on the temperature. When it's 85 and 90 and below, they get darker than they do when it's in the upper 90s to over triple digits. I like to remind everyone, when it's 100 degrees outside, you're miserable, they're miserable, everyone's miserable. Nobody likes to work 100% when it's in such high heat. Now, this is the first time they've been darkened. Again, as I just mentioned, they're going to continue to darken every day for the first 2 weeks. Come on, we talked about this, don't you remember? So that's that. If anyone has any questions about what I can or can't do, just email me at freeprescriptionlenses@gmail.com. And I hope you enjoyed watching as I made transition gray lenses for the RayBan 2140 QM original Wayfarer color. What color is this? I can't see when it's that close. It is color 1152 in the 50i size. It is embossed again. These are, let me back up so I can see, yeah, made in Italy. This is the real McCoy. Hopefully my camera's good enough to pick up that leather. And if you can just smell the leather on here, everyone want that new car smell, you are going to get a new frame smell when you open the case. And that is that. So hopefully everyone else has got the chance to see how I bring that love and feeling back to glasses. Thank you.